There are people who slowly disappear from others' lives. No announcement, no explanation, just silence. And if you've ever been like that, or you're thinking about it, you've probably asked yourself, is something wrong with me? But the truth is, you're not wrong for wanting space. You're not cold for choosing quiet over noise. And you're not weak for deciding to walk away. Psychology suggests that human behavior changes when awareness changes. When you start to see things clearly, the way others treat you, the way certain relationships drain you, the way you slowly lose yourself in familiar interactions, your mind begins to question everything. And sometimes, the answer is distance. It's not because you hate someone. It's because you finally understand yourself better. Most people who cut off contact don't act on impulse. They've thought about it for a long time. They notice conversations becoming more and more forced. They feel their energy drop around certain people. They're always the one trying, explaining, enduring. And then, at some point, something shifts. They stop asking, how do I keep this relationship going? And start asking, why am I still in it? That question changes everything. Because when you realize not every relationship needs to be kept, you also realize something else. Staying in the wrong environment can sometimes cost you more than leaving. There's a kind of exhaustion that builds quietly over time. Not loud, not obvious, but always there. It's the feeling of having to pretend you're okay, of having to accept things that no longer fit who you are, of being around people who only understand an older version of you. And when that exhaustion hits its limit, leaving no longer feels like a loss. It becomes a relief. This is where many people get misunderstood. From the outside, it looks like they're avoiding things, like they don't know how to maintain relationships, like they're withdrawing. But on the inside, what's happening is completely different. It's clarity. It's the moment you realize that connection shouldn't come at the cost of your peace. That being around many people doesn't mean you're truly understood. That attachment without respect is just a prolonged form of endurance. So they choose to step back. No noise, no drama, just intention. And this is the most important part. They're not really cutting others off. They're returning to themselves. In psychology, this is often tied to setting personal boundaries. When someone starts clearly defining what they accept and what they no longer tolerate. It's subtle, but incredibly powerful. Because when your boundaries become clear, many relationships naturally stop fitting. Not because they're all bad, but because they're no longer aligned. Growth comes with a strange side effect. It makes your world smaller, but more real. You talk to fewer people, but the conversations become deeper. You spend more time alone, but you don't feel as lonely as before. You stop trying to hold on to every connection and start choosing your connections. That's not avoidance. That's change. So if you're starting to create distance, if you've become quieter, more selective, more clear, maybe you're not losing anyone at all. Maybe you've just stopped losing yourself. And those two things are completely different. If you see yourself in this, you're not alone.